Hey, it's me, KG, and Willie Gibson. We are going to discuss today, should NBA teams trade players to their star players to where they want to go or do what's best for the franchise? We're going to talk about it here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Be right back. Lunch break.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready, we ready, we ready for y'all. We ready, we ready, we ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
We ready?
Yes,
Willie
sir.
Gibson, you ready?
We ready. Let's get it.
Let's get it. It's the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku on the BS3 network. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review in Ohio. My man, Willie Gibson. How you doing, brother?
All is well, brother. All is well.
Salute again, as always, to AJ Jones for allowing us to be a part of the lunch break. We are the head chef and sous chef. Got that from Kenitra Pulliams. Queen, how you doing? But as a teaser, the top of the show, let's get into it, my man. What are your thoughts? And of course, we're specifically dealing with, should the Portland Trailblazers trade Dame to the Heat? That's where he wants to go. Or should the Blazers, in any franchise, but specifically Dame and the Blazers, should they do what's best for the franchise?
Joe Cronin, Portland Trailblazers general manager, has a duty to do what's best for the Portland Trailblazers franchise. I want to hear this do right by Dame. He did right by Dame by offering him and Dame accepting a 2-year, $121.2 million extension last summer. That was doing right by Dame. I mean, I understand Dame. He's been there 11 years. He wants to win. I get it. But you can't tell me you want out and tell me where you want to go and I'm supposed to send you there. No, he has to do right by the franchise.
And Dame, unlike Brad Beal, does not have a no trade clause.
No, he doesn't.
So he's got 4 years on the deal. As you touched on, the extension kicks in 2 years. He wants to go to Miami. All right, Mr. GM, Mr. Joe Cronin, you were good at it before playing Rafael Stone. Shout out to you. Last week, you let everybody know that Ty Washington was available for trade. You touched on KJ Martin, available for trade. And hey, what do you know?
Imagine
Both of them, officially, hey. But Mr. Gibson's going to be a GM in his next life. Or maybe if you expire later on in this one, be a general manager in the NBA. But Mr. Gibson, what's the best deal for the Blazers for them regarding Dame Lillard?
Well, if you look at the assets, Miami just doesn't have the assets straight up. They have Tyler Hero, who they're dangling out there, who's a guard, where Portland has Scoot Henderson, has Anthony Simons, has Shaden Sharp. They don't need a Tyler Hero. So then you look at, and they don't have picks either. They have 2 first-round picks available and then pick swaps.
Right.
Whereas you look at someone, let's say, the Brooklyn Nets, they have several first-round picks at their disposal. 4 from the Phoenix Suns in the Kevin Durant trade. They have several others that they have control of. They have that's who. If I'm Joe Cronin, I'm calling Brooklyn. I'm talking to Sean Marks. Like, what can we get done? Period.
How about Utah?
Yeah, Utah as well. For that matter, San Antonio, who I've been told that Dame has great respect for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about, and Chris, I used to say this back in the day. This is how long we've been doing this. Going back to when Kyrie demanded a trade from the Cavs, they ended up trading the Boston. Horrible trade. And by the way, horrible trade. They thought they had the gold mine when they had the lottery pick of the Brooklyn Nets, and that was the year Brooklyn decided to go all in to make the playoffs, or almost make the playoffs, and ended up with the eighth pick, who ended up being Colin Sexton. But I'm of the mindset again, going back to making the best deal for your franchise. If the best deal for the franchise is to send in, I got to think of a new team now, because I would say send them to Milwaukee. Well, you can't send them to Milwaukee anymore because it's Giannis. Well, send them to Memphis. Well, you can't send them to Memphis anymore. Memphis is good. So, Sacramento's good. So send him to the team that's going to give you the best deal, period. It's not about doing right by Dame because, you want to leave things on good terms because he's going to get a statue there one day and they're going to retire to zero. And that's all well and good, but I can't. Joe Cronin needs a job after this deal. He can't mess this up. Period. He can't.
You're touching on it. I'm gonna see if I can drag it out of you, playing devil's advocate. Doing right by Dame, but what if, for the folks who say, well, other star players are looking at Portland to see if they do right by Dame. Scoot Henderson is looking to see if they do right by Dame by sending him to Miami. If they don't send him to Miami, could they be hurt in the future because they, quote unquote, did not do right by Dame?
I'll figure it out as I figure out how to use the plethora of first round picks I get from Brooklyn.
That's fair. Shifting gears, Philadelphia 76ers.
Yep.
Daryl Morey, who surprised me. He cut off his enabling of James Harden. Apparently now he's seeking deals for him. Daryl Morey is known, look at Ben Simmons, as a hardliner. He may wait a while to maximize the assets to get that he wants in return for James Harden. Do you agree with that?
That's a slippery slope from my perspective. I don't agree. I think he should get the deal done as quickly as possible because this team, I mean, they were built to let Ben Simmons sit out half the year. Joel Embiid is not going to have, and Joel Embiid actually endorsed that. I don't know if Joel Embiid is going to be down with that, letting James Harden set up. And if you look at photos over the weekend on IG, on the gram, as we should say, at the Michael Rubin White Party, you saw Tobias Harris, you saw Joel Embiid, and you saw James Harden. All was well. All was good. So, is it, he's upset with Daryl Morey for not giving him and I can understand it from that perspective. I took a pay cut, $14 million?
Yeah. To
free up money for you to bring in Daniel House, bring in PJ Tucker, with the expectation that I was going to get a 4-year max deal after that. And now at 34 years old next month, he's playing on the last year of a deal that he's going to be a 35-year-old free agent. And at that point, he can only sign a 3-year deal, if I'm understanding properly, because the age 38 season, correct?
Right. 38. Yeah. 38.
Yeah. So, he's
speculation.
Yeah. So his fury is with Daryl Morey. And, can he put that past him for 1 year to come back with Joel and Tobias and Maxey and play under Nick Nurse? I don't know.
What do you think would be the best deal? Is it still a Clippers for Harden?
It is. I think so. I mean, yeah, it's the Clippers for Harden. Yeah, now if they could then turn around Philadelphia and perhaps get in on Dame and not using the picks from Port or using the capital from the Clippers and not have to give up Tyrese Maxey, throw Tobias Harris in there at a $39 million expiring contract. Who knows?
All right, Mr. GM, how about a 3-team deal? Could a 3-team deal work involving the Blazers, Sixers, and Clippers? I'm not sure. I'm just asking. I don't know if that could.
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
thinking in my mind real quick. I'm like, yeah. I mean, hey, KG said it. Anything's possible. So anything is possible.
Because going back to Dame, and of
Mhm.
course, everybody's watching. You are watching us live on Throwback Thursday, the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku on the BS3 network and Facebook, Twitch, Twitter for now, apparently, but going forward, definitely on Roku on the BS3 network. The Blazers don't want Tyler Hero,
No.
so it can't be a direct Blazers Heat trade. So you got to get a third team involved in that. So who would get Tyler Hero if Portland did decide to trade Dame to the Heat?
Brooklyn.
And then who's going from Brooklyn to the Blazers?
Some of those picks. At least one, if not two, of those Phoenix picks. First round picks.
You heard it here first from Mr. General Manager Willie Gibson. Got to get you a GM hat or see if we can get you a raise from AJ, pay you some GM money.
Man, let's get it.
You know, but we'll be right back after this break. I love this clip. Love this dude, Cole Johnson and Cole Sports with the Z.
If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor,
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
that pulls no punches,
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
that gives you some humor,
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
if you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents
I am Cole Johnson and welcome to
Cole Sports with the Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
With the Z.
Hey, you know what, Cole Johnson? I've never met you, but with the Z, and you know what I thought about? On the road again.
Yeah.
Sissies. Oh,
yeah.
They don't know. They don't
Yeah.
know.
I thought of, well, that's another story. I
Yeah.
thought about doing a part of an intro or something like that, man.
Yeah.
Or let's do it. I might do that today. Who knows, brother? I might have the colors for it.
Yeah.
The
Uh-oh.
red, the black, or the green.
Yes, sir.
But I might, who knows, man? I might do that on the lunch break. Hey, man, this is, after all, the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. So stay tuned this Thursday, this Throwback Thursday. Speaking with General Manager Willie Gibson from WTG Sports in Ohio, alum of the Ohio State University. We've touched on this, but let's dive into this a little bit more regarding, because we're still waiting on details.
Yep.
But details regarding the Rockets signing and trade for Dylan Brooks for 4 years, $80 million. Your thoughts, have your thoughts changed from folks talking sports on Sunday about that's a lot of money? Is 4 years? They were bidding against no one as far as we know. So why that contract for Dylan Brooks?
You know what? They had to spend it. I mean, they got the chunk of it with Fred VanVleet. And now with Dylan Brooks, I mean, as you said, we don't know who they were bidding against. I know he spoke with the Lakers briefly, but they didn't have $20 million to sign him, or they didn't allocate $20 million to sign him. the usual suspects. Was it San Antonio? Was it Utah? Was it whomever? That it's only 3 or 4 teams that have cap space to sign him outright. And was it Detroit, Chris? What do you? I mean, was he trying to come to the Eastern
Well,
Conference?
I think I said it to you and Andy on a FTS
Mhm.
that I would have been okay with Detroit signing him and having him inserting him in the starting lineup at that 3 spot. Not at $20 million a year, but because of the defense he plays, the toughness he brings,
Mhm.
his positive qualities could benefit Detroit. His negative stuff he does, the brand stuff, the lot of bad shots he takes, all that kind of
Poking stuff. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the poking stuff. And I'm not sure if Monty Williams would have been a good coach for Dylan
That's
Brooks.
true. That's true. DeAndre Ayton showed that.
So but I think Coach Emi Udoka's better suited to deal with a dude like Dylan Brooks. And I'm gonna borrow your line, brother. No shade, but yeah, some shade to Monty Williams when I say that. Because a little bit, he and Steven Silas might be cut from the same cloth. This might be too nice to deal with dudes like that. And so we'll see how it all plays out in Houston
Mhm.
with Coach Udoka and Dylan Brooks. Rocket fans, most of them are happy. Not all of them. We dealt with some folks on Sunday.
Man,
Should have signed Brook Lopez. Should have overpaid for Brook Lopez.
at 35 years old.
35 years old. Okay, and try to argue us down repeatedly.
By the way, who yesterday, Brook Lopez is now, as of yesterday, joined by his brother Robin in
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Have him as one who covered him in Cleveland last year. Great signing by Milwaukee. I'll leave that there.
Understood. Brother Gibson, Summer League, the Vegas Summer League begins Friday the 7th.
Mhm.
Are you how much of it were you watch of the Cavs participants?
About 37 seconds.
You got it down to an exact number.
Yeah. Although I know you and I talked about this, Fabian White, UH alum,
Mhm.
is on the Cavs Summer League team this summer. So that'd be interesting to see. Pete Nance, former Northwestern Wildcat and most recently North Carolina Tar Heel legacy Cavalier, Larry Nance Sr. and his brother, Larry Nance Jr., former Cavaliers. Cavs have signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. Outside of that, Monty Bates, the 2nd-round pick from Eastern Michigan, is a headline in the Summer League team. And Sam Merrill, who had some run last year with the Cavs. And outside of that, so based on that, about 37 seconds.
Amani Bates.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are there any expectations that you've heard from the Cavs for him this summer?
Just improve, just get better. He's 6'10", 178, so quite sure. Yeah, just the weight program is paramount. First and foremost. Secondarily, tertiarily, that's it. He got to get bigger, man. 6'10", 178. He's 19 years old, so there's definitely room to grow, and there's precedent because Evan Mobley, when he came here, he wasn't 6'10", 178, but he was thin, and I actually saw a picture of Evan Monday or Tuesday. It was 4th of July, before the 4th.
Mm.
And I know that he has a private chef in LA with him that actually cooks for him in Cleveland during the season. He's now with him for the summer. And I saw a picture of him earlier this week. And he's definitely taken well to the weight gain. And the blueprint for Evan is actually Giannis. If you recall when Giannis looked like when he came into the league and what he looks like now. So if that same blueprint can be used for Imani, look out.
Yeah, I wonder because Giannis was skinny,
Yes.
and now he's not skinny. He's muscular, muscle toned, and looks looks like me without my shirt. Just ripped. Yeah, yeah, right.
I'll take your word for it, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. But talking about slim dudes,
Yeah.
and you're thinking of Imani Bates,
Mhm.
the Cougs have a freshman on this year's roster, 23-24 roster, Jacob McFarland.
Okay.
I interviewed. He's from California kid. I interviewed him when he announced his choice to UH.
Okay.
And I want to say he told me he was like 6'10", 180,
Ooh.
something like that.
Yeah.
Seeing pictures of him on the gram this summer at workouts. If he's 180, Will, I'm 305.
Wow.
I mean, man, he is so skinny.
Okay. Okay.
Not
Like-
thin, skinny.
Like Chet Holmgren at Gonzaga skinny.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
and the trippy thing is, I've been told he's gained weight since
Wow.
he arrived on campus working out with the strength program and Coach Bishop. So just if you see, go to the gram, and it's really, I think, his personal gram and not necessarily just the team's Instagram page.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, Jacob, I knew you were thin, but young fella, you are skinny, man.
Yeah.
But I wish him well. It's just a matter of time. But I'm curious because some dudes don't get stronger. Well, don't get heavier.
Right.
Some dudes like Giannis put on the pounds, get stronger, and carry it, no issues. Then there's some guys we're going to age ourselves, be like Chuck Nevitt, Sean Bradley types, and just never. They always look thin. They always look frail.
Yeah.
And I think Chet Holmgren could be that based on how his dad is built.
Yeah.
But I want to pick your brain
Okay.
on that because hold that thought. But Rocket fans, mark your calendars. I'm sure you're looking forward to it. Rockets Summer League begins Friday, tomorrow, Portland, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Sunday matchup of the Twins, Amen and Oscar Thompson, game against Detroit. I'm going to take that down now, take the slide down, because as I remember this, the Detroit Pistons and Marcus Sasser, UH alum, their first game of Vegas Summer League is Saturday the 8th, and I want to say it's 6 p.m. Central on ESPN.
Okay.
And based on what my man James L. Edwards III from The Athletic has written in reports, Marcus is going to play a lot. And he kind of believes Marcus, not that it matters to me, it matters to Marcus, has a chance to be the Pistons. I don't know how they do it. Representative for like the Summer League All-Star team.
Wow, I didn't know they had a Summer League.
Something like I don't know if you make the Summer League team,
tournament team or something.
Yeah, the all tournament be the Pistons representative. Marcus Sasser might be that guy.
Okay.
So expecting to play a lot. I think Saturday's game, the first game for Detroit. I don't know who they're playing, whatever. But Jalen Ivey, Jalen Duren, James Wiseman, a lot of the returning players might play their one game. It'll be Saturday.
Right.
And then Marcus Sasser, he's also going to play Saturday. And then Marcus play all 4 games. And if they advance to the quote-unquote playoffs, then you'll play some more there. But so fans, if you're looking for, of course, and of course, Oscar Thompson, the other Pistons rookie, will play, expected to play probably at least 3 of the 4, if not all 4. But fans, Rocket fans, Pistons fans, other Cavs fans, if you are looking and expecting your star rookie to play all 4 games, don't hold your breath. Okay? Don't hold your breath. You might see him play twice, and that'll be it. And then goodness knows if they roll an ankle in that first game,
Right.
they'll be done for the rest of the 10 days of Vegas. So
Right.
that's what Vegas is. Summer League, Will. Again, it's Summer League.
Yep.
It is a chance for the youngsters to showcase themselves. And this is a resume builder for some of these guys. You talk about Fabian White. I think Fabian and 7 other former Coup players are in Summer League. I know Nate Hinton is on the Rockets Summer League squad.
Mhm.
Dejan Giroux, Armani Brooks, Armani and Nate Hinton. Well, maybe one day we could do a show on young players who bet on themselves and it so far hasn't worked out. I'm going to put it like that because rather than saying got bad advice or whatever, they bet on themselves leaving early and they're still grinding, trying to get that NBA contract, that guaranteed deal, not just an Exhibit 10 deal or a two-way contract or a 10-day contract in January. Heck, Armani, fans and Rocket fans were hyped. They were hyped.
Mhm.
Rocket signed Armani to a deal.
Okay.
I want to say it was multi-year. It wasn't guaranteed though, Will. And so lo and behold, he wasn't brought back, for the following season. I'm like, well, it wasn't guaranteed, folks. And if you saw the Rockets play and saw what Armani did, he didn't do enough. He didn't rebound enough. He didn't defend well enough. His three-point shooting, I mean, that's what he does, but that wasn't consistent enough game in, game out. Will, if you make 6 threes in one game and make 0 the next game, your average is still three threes in a per game.
Yeah.
But you made 6 in one and none in the other. Okay. You can't have that in the NBA. You're trying to make a squad. You got to be consistent. You need to make those threes game in, game out, shoot 40%. They can count on you.
Yeah.
When you hitting or missing, you're trying to make a roster. That's why you're still trying to make a roster. But talking about thin folks, I'm surprised. I give the NBA time, but I'm surprised they have not hyped up the battle of the thin men. Chet going against Wemby.
Oh, is that Friday? Tomorrow?
So,
is that tomorrow?
So yeah, does San Antonio play OKC Friday?
I know they play. I know San Antonio plays Friday, and Wemby's probably only going to play Friday.
So yeah, I know Wemby's playing Friday. I'm not sure. Like I said,
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's enough for me to know that a team is playing.
Right.
If it's not, the Rockets don't have a schedule in front of me, I can't tell you who the opponent is. So I'm not sure who the Spurs are playing Friday night, but the game is sold out. The Summer League game is sold out. But in terms of hype, no, actually, I think the Spurs are playing Charlotte because I want to say it's like the matchup of 1 versus 2 kind of thing,
Okay.
So kind of that kind of thing. Or if it's not Charlotte, it's Portland. So Wemby against Scoot, kind of, 1 versus 3, that kind of hype.
Right.
But just think about the potential matchups. Spurs, when the games count, Spurs versus OKC, Unicorn Chet against another Unicorn Wemby. Yeah. The two of them combined weight maybe
310.
let's be nice, 350.
Okay, 350.
But the hype should be, I expect more of that hype. And we're going to discuss, Brother Gibson, the play-in that Adam Silver has pushed for a while. There will be a press conference and an announcement. It's going to happen this 2023-24 season, but Saturday, July 8th, there's going to be a presser about it. But we're going to talk about the plan and what it means when we come back from this break, reminding everybody you're watching the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku on the BS3 network. And if you're wondering, KG, What is this BS3 you're talking about? Check this
No.
out and find out.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I am KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and with me is colleague Willie Gibson of WTG Sports in Ohio,
Yes, sir.
alum of the Ohio State University. We teased it before the break. Let's talk about it. Your thoughts on this in-season NBA tournament, good or bad? I'm waiting on the specifics, but I'm assuming the payout is at least $1 million per player for the winning team or whatever, something to make it worthwhile for these guys. But your thoughts on the in-season tournament?
I thought it was $500,000 per player. I don't know. It could be.
I heard that before. I'm hoping that it got boosted up for the players to agree to this. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that it doesn't deviate from the schedule. Still 82 games. I think the final two teams play 83 games, which the 83rd game doesn't count towards regular season stats. So it's kind of like in the Ethernet, like the playing tournament, those stats, we saw it, but they don't count.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. But, I mean, I appreciate the fact that it's still within the confines of the 82-game schedule. So from that perspective, I don't mind it. Similar to the WNBA's Commissioner's Cup. Imagine that. The women lead the way. And I don't say that to disparage them. I say it to credit them that Adam Silver saw that and said, hey, this is something that we can do in the NBA. And I know European leagues have done this as well for some time. But I don't mind it. Like I said, had it been something additional where you're taking off as they do in European football, soccer as we call it, where you're taking 2 and 3 weeks off in the middle of the season to hold this separate tournament and then you reconvene, that I would have had an issue with. But from all accounts, they do it within the confines of an 82-game season, so I'm okay.
I'm curious how it's going to work. The logistics of it. ESPN's Woj says it's going to take place in Vegas in December on 2 days, the 7th and the 9th. So who's gonna play in it?
Now I heard that. Now, from what I understand, that's the Final Four, if you will.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, you're right. I see the tweet now. Yeah, Final Four. So how's this going to work? So
I don't know. I got to tune in Saturday, I guess, with Adam Silver, and I'm curious as well. I'm curious as well to see, how do they determine which games of the 82-game season are classified or constituted or set aside for the tournament game, and this game is a tournament game, but this game is not. I don't know, but it's interesting to see, and I'm interested to hear what Adam Silver has to say.
And you brought it up, and it clicked in my old hamster is moving around the wheel.
No.
The WNBA Commissioner's Cup.
Yep.
How the W does it, 5 games are set like interdivision, interconference, between conference, whatever, they count as for, toward the Commissioner's Cup, and the winner out of those 5 games, I don't know, it's 5 games, 10 games, whatever it is, but a set number of games within the regular season are quote unquote Commissioner's Cups games. And they're kind of standings of that. So whoever has the top 2 teams who win the most games out of those Commissioner Cup matchups meet in the Commissioner Cup championship. So based on that, the NBA may set aside some intra-conference matchups and count them toward the in-season tournament, and then the top 2 teams, the top win-loss percentage of those intra-conference games advance to, well, I guess top four teams advance to Vegas, and then they'll play the semifinals on the 7th, and then the winners of that will play on the 9th. So, okay, it works in the W, and some of the things that the WNBA tries, like the Commissioner's Cup, like the jersey patch sponsors, the NBA, Adam Silver, kind of urged Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, you guys should try this, and if it works, we're going to implement it in our league, in the NBA. So it's kind of like the W is a guinea pig for some things, because a while ago, years ago, not too long ago, but a few years ago, there was a lot of traditionalists that frowned upon the sponsorship patch.
Yeah.
They want, I don't want the jersey to turn to commercial. No. It's like soccer. It's like global football. I don't want that. No. You saw it trickle into the W. Then you saw it trickle into the NBA, and they realized we can make how much money with this sponsorship patch?
Right.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm good with that. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Yeah, good. Okay, well, all I know about the in-season tournament, 3.5, 4 years ago, I remember this, and salute to my man Adam Spolin for bringing it back up and putting it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He we were at Rockets practice, after practice, media availability, asked PJ Tucker, because in 2019, that was about the time that the idea of an in-season tournament was being kicked around and possibly gaining some steam way back in 2019. PJ said, no, I'm not for this. It's kind of like cup play overseas. No, I'm not for this at all. Why are we doing that? We're playing for championships. Why are we playing for an in-season tournament? No, I'm not against it. I am against it.
Right.
Fast forward to now, it's going to happen.
Yep.
So money talks. We'll see how much of it pays for the players. We'll see how much of an interest they have, how much, if they care. I mean, the fact that they really are still regular season matchups, head-to-head matchups, so they'll still count toward the season, but also count toward the in-season tournament, should help generate some interest. Some. I'm not sure the fans are going to care one way or the other.
No.
Because I'm not how they're going to promote it and remind the fans during the broadcast. Remember, this Rocket Spurs matchup counts toward the inaugural in-season tournament. So the Rockets win this game, they'll have a leg up on third place Team X.
Right.
With a chance to advance to Las Vegas in December to win the pool of whatever it is.
Yeah. Fans aren't going to care. They're not going to care.
If the players don't care, fans won't care, media doesn't care, whatever. Well,
media's don't care because it's a trip to Vegas.
It's a trip to Vegas. So, brother, let me know if you want to meet in Vegas December 7th and 9th. I probably couldn't get credentials for it. So,
All right, we met to talk.
So, yeah, if not, we can lean on AJ, Mr. Media Man, Mr. Producer.
Yep.
He might want to use it as a business expense to meet some media moguls in Vegas and connect for his movie deals or whatever. So, hey,
super
make it all happen. Or have a BS3 meeting a convention of all the personalities meet in Vegas, and just have it go right around the in-season tournament.
Hey, big
Ben?
brother, Ben Sutter the third. Let's get it. Let's
Yes,
get it.
Ben, let's make it happen. All right, these final minutes of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, and streaming live on Roku, courtesy of BS3 Network. Two things, maybe more. You know how I do, but two
Yeah,
things.
without question.
Well, it's July 6th. Pac-12 still waiting on the media rights deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sports Business Journal guy John Orand said that in his latest podcast edition, that he believes, how did he phrase it? His informed speculation, there we go, informed speculation that the Pac-10 president should get more details regarding a new media rights deal by August, and then have an announcement with, I guess, finalization around Labor Day. Is that too late, Will, for a school like Colorado to make a decision and stay?
No. Well, I mean, as we know, they've already met in person with the Big 12. So
yes, this is true. Yes.
Yeah. So no, I don't think it's too late at all. They know they have the permit. It's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. They know what the deal is. So we'll wait. Okay, we'll wait, and let me hear what the deal is, and then if not, let's go.
And what would it be as I take a sip out of my AJ, my Houston Roundball Review mug? AJ, salute, AJ.
Well, I just got a little water. I just got a little bottle of water over here.
What would make you say you're Colorado and this is not good enough? We're going to be streaming whatever percentage in your mind is too much. Then say no, we're going to the Big 12. What is the number, magic number in your mind, Colorado? Prime time, Coach Prime.
Right. That part, the prime effect. And if it's all right, so 12-game regular season football season, and if I'm streaming, because they got to see Prime, they got to see the product. So if a third, 33%, if four games, more than 4 games are streamed, no, we have to go. We have to go because that's exposure that I'm missing. You know, I'm not getting into the homes of these parents, of these kids, of these grandparents. They have to go at that point. If I'm Colorado.
Okay, so based on that, does it matter to you if it's Apple or Amazon? Same number, same percentage, but it's one of those. Prime Amazon is a pretty well established streaming platform, and so is well, Apple's not Netflix, but
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't. Nope, it remains the same. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go because even though yes, it's streaming, the exposure, streaming it's there when you need it or there when you want it, and those football games. How many people DVR basketball games or DVR football games, but go back and actually watch them?
Football,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's so you lose the effect. I've recorded games, man. I've covered games, and I've recorded them, and I've come home and watched them. But that's work related.
Right.
But
yeah, that's how I do it. Yeah.
yeah. But for the person that it's my anniversary and my wife wants to go to dinner, so I'm going to record this game, and nobody tell me what happened. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to find out what that score is before they get home. And then So that's the general public. A recruit that has, I mean, that exposure is paramount. And if you don't get it live, who's going to say that recruit with everything, with practice and social life and kicking them with my boys, and I got homework, I got this, I got that. Who's going to say that recruit is going to take the time to watch a stream or a recording of a stream when you need to have that brand in front of them at all times?
When will that change? When will your answer change towards streaming? How far in the future will it change? Because, folks say it's inevitable that more and more people are going to stream and continue cutting the cord. Heck, ESPN at some point, probably in the next 3 to 5 years, will have all of its products available on streaming.
Yeah.
But also still maintain a linear platform also as
Right.
well.
What will it change? My thought, probably in that it's close. I'll be honest, it's close because, as you said, it's. I mean, we've done it. I've done it. I've, pulled out my phone and hey, let me see what this game is going on. But I'm trying to put myself in the mind of a 16 or 17-year-old young adult that's being recruited. Are they going to remember? And I'm not saying they are the intelligent. I'm saying them. But with everything going on, I'm going to sit and watch this stream of this game when I can sit down and turn on Fox and watch Ohio State versus Penn State, Ohio State versus USC. You're competing against the other
sure, and it's
power four conferences.
It's easier. Technology is not there yet regarding flipping channels. It's still much easier to flip channels on linear than it is to stream. Flipping on streaming. That might change at some point, but it's not there yet. It's still much more difficult to watch a game on Peacock, and then you want to switch to see a game on Amazon or on Paramount Plus, and I'm just plugging these guys, and they're not paying us squat. So I forget I said all that.
And you know what's wild? As I was just giving that example, I just flippantly said Ohio State versus USC. And that's a Big Ten conference game now.
Yep.
In 2024.
Right.
So it's like it's changing, but is it changing enough that this kid is going to pick up the phone and watch that stream versus going to Fox and watching it on linear?
Okay. In these closing moments of this Houston Roundball review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku on the BS3 network. What if the Pac-12's media multi-rights deal includes games on ION and or CW? It's linear.
Chuckle. It is. That's right. I backed myself into a corner with that one. I did. Good. That was good. But no, come on, man. No. What is that, 11% of the country, ION? Something like that?
I mean, well, which one of those is in most of the major cities?
CW.
CW. Okay, so CW. What if it's CW?
No, it's not enough. It's access. Availability. It's not. No.
What if CW grows? I mean, they'd have to grow out and expand
like
a lot.
2 months.
And personnel and hire a lot of folks and production and in-game broadcast, all that to really make it worthwhile. Because you're a football guy.
Yep.
I'm a basketball guy.
You are.
All this discussion regarding Pac-12 multimedia deal, media rights deal centers around football. No discussion about what this means for the Olympic sports.
No.
Closing moment, my point 2, UConn.
Yeah.
should UConn go to the Big 12, or if an invitation came,
Mhm.
UConn has an opportunity to go to the Big 12 or to the ACC.
Mm.
Which would you, if you're UConn higher up, which would you think is the best long term?
The ACC. I know what you're gonna say too. Go ahead. I know
Well,
what you're about to say.
well, the ACC. I mean, it could be
Yeah.
because of the teams that are going to leave the ACC, like Miami,
Yeah.
North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, whatever. Eventually, some of them are going to go to the Big Ten, and some are going to go to the SEC. So UConn might be the king of what's left of the ACC.
Yeah.
So would that work? In the what's left of the ACC, do you believe that they would still, in the next TV deal, earn as much as what they could make in the Big 12 in what's left of the ACC in that scenario?
Oh, well, that scenario, probably not. Probably not, because I mean, at that point, the Big 12, no, I don't. That's an interesting way to put it.
So that's one thing I think they have to decide. Sports writer, UConn paper, I forgot his name. Michael Anthony, I forgot which paper he writes for up in Connecticut.
Hartford Current?
I think that's the Current. I think it's one of those, or the New Haven Register or whatever. Let me say. But he says it's basically inevitable that UConn is going to be in a Power 5 conference. Didn't say which. It's either one of those, either Big 12 or ACC. But UConn annually, the subsidy, they're at a deficit of $40 million a year.
Wow.
Okay, $40 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the Big East, they're not going to make a dent in that without football.
Right.
In a Power 5 conference. Yes, football coach Jim Mora did a great job his first season at UConn. They're participating in a lot of bye games at independent schedule. Can only get you so much, though, Will.
Yep.
If you really want to eliminate or pare down the subsidy you get from the university and cut into that annual deficit, you're going to have to go to a power conference.
Oh, without question.
And Commissioner Brett Yormark is saying, hi, hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
We can work well together. You can help me reach my goal of being the Big 12 becoming a national conference coast to coast. You can help bring that East Coast market, the New York market, UConn. Mm-hmm. So just think about it. Now he's getting some pushback because UConn is, Michael Resco, a G5 member, which means that ESPN and Fox will not be obligated to give them a pro rata deal like everybody else in the Big 12. So to make up a difference, I wonder if he'd have to talk to the current members about this, set aside $1 million each to help, UConn get whole eventually. Mm-hmm. But I think UConn, the Big 12 might work at some point. I think it's going to happen. We'll see. It might be an issue or a point of contention for Gino Auriemma's replacement. If it happens beyond 5 years, I'm not sure Gino's going to be around 5 years now as a head coach. But UConn is paying Danny Hurley, just agreed to a new
7-year deal,
$32 million contract. Okay. They got to pay this somehow, So right. Just saying, put it out there, UConn and the Big 12. Let's make it happen and help me restore my coffers because I can cover Big 12. Big East UConn women's basketball. I was a big kid with UConn fans and Gino, and my interviews with him and the players was huge on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. That'll wrap it up here. Willie Gibson, how can folks find you on social media, my man?
Thank you, sir, as always. And shout out to Big Brother AJ for allowing us to be a part of this platform. You can find me on social media, IG, the Gram, as well as Twitter at Will Gibson7, Will Gibson7, and also on Facebook at Will Knows.
And I am KG Chris Garden of the Houston Roundball Review. For now, I'm on Twitter at the HR Review. Instagram right there, Houston Roundball Review. Spoutable for now, also testing it out, Houston Roundball Review. YouTube, Houston Roundball Review. Wrapping it up. As always, remember, oh, of course, get you a Houston Roundball Review mug. Link in the description. Got that merch. Get that merch. But the Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Peace.